Hurricane Michael plowed through Florida this week. An update on the tropical storm.
We're 3 weeks away from the general election. What you should know about the seats on this year's ballot.
We weren't able to have a show this last week. If you were wondering why, find out more ahead.
With fall festivities full force in the county, what to expect for our weekend weather. Newscene now.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Patrick Rickard.
And I'm Alexandra Rangel.
The Southeast is reeling today from the widespread devastation caused by Hurricane Michael. We have Kenyatta Rigmaiden here with the latest news.
Thank you, Patrick. The death toll is at 13 and still rising. Hurricane Michael has been one of the worst hurricanes to hit the area. It's truly a record breaker. And right now, what we're going to look at is some satellite footage. We can see when it first made landfall, it's moving and making a path northward. One of the worst storms. Category 4 when it made landfall, and we have 12-foot storm surges, winds up to 155 miles an hour, obliterating homes, buildings. Throughout the Florida Panhandle, major devastation was seen, especially in the cities of Mexico Beach and Panama City. The storm moved fast at about 25 miles an hour while devastating the area from Florida to Virginia. It toppled trees, down power lines, and left over 1.5 million people without power. There's also been major flooding in areas of the Carolinas and Virginia that are still recovering from Hurricane Florence. It seems like these places just can't get a break. It may take months to sift through all these debris and even years for a full recovery. That just about wraps it up with the hurricane. Back to you folks at the desk.
And with midterm elections coming up, it's important to stay informed. Here's more.
Midterm elections are set to be held on Tuesday, November 6, 2018. And these elections will take place in the middle of Republican President Donald Trump's first term. All 435 seats in the United States House of Representatives and 35 of the 100 seats in the United States Senate will be contested. 39 state and territorial governorships, as well as numerous other state and local elections, will also be contested. 33 senators will be up for election. 23 of the seats to be contested are presently held by Democrats, and 8 are held by Republicans. California has 53 seats in the House of Representatives up for election. Of the 53 districts, the incumbent was renominated in 51. This means that a lot of those contests are likely to go towards the incumbent, but there are several districts that are competitive. California's 10th, California's 21st, and California's 25th congressional district are all represented by members of the party who are the minority in the area. Here at Newscene,
Citizens who missed the October 22nd registration deadline can go to their local county election office to register and vote conditionally.
Meanwhile, in Washington, President Trump's UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, has resigned. On Tuesday, both Haley and the president announced she would be leaving her post by the end of the year. Trump praised Haley for doing a fantastic and incredible job and said she is welcome back anytime. No details were given on why Haley is resigning. Trump says he will announce Haley's replacement in the coming weeks.
U.S. officials are demanding an explanation as to why a Saudi journalist went missing after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. Jamal Khashoggi entered the consulate on Tuesday last week and has not been seen since. Turkish media says a Saudi assassination squad of 15 men was seen arriving in Turkey on 2 Gulfstream jets on the day Khashoggi went missing. He has been in exile for fear of being arrested since 2017. Saudi officials have produced no evidence refuting Turkey's allegations of the journalist's murder.
A former Marine was put to death last Friday for the deaths of 5 women in Southern California. Although Andrew Urdiales, a 54-year-old veteran, was already serving a life sentence prison with murders in Illinois, Urdiales said, "I understand how they voted. If I were a juror in this case, I would have voted the same thing. No hard feelings."
The Los Angeles Airport Police will now allow travelers to carry marijuana. However, this doesn't mean that you can just light up at the airport. This also comes with a warning to travelers to be aware of marijuana laws in places they are going. While federal law prohibits the possession of pot, our state's passage of Proposition 64 allows any individual 21 years of age or older to possess up to 28.5 grams of marijuana for personal consumption. But you have to be careful because planes themselves are still subject to federal law, which means you could still face fines or jail time for having it on your person, even if Los Angeles police decline to prosecute.
Thousands of people registered to vote through the DMV may have not actually be eligible. This according to the Secretary of State.
We were told last month in the instance of the 23,000 that, they had a fix. And while this problem seems to be different, it's another mistake nonetheless, which, my concern is it risks jeopardizing confidence in the electoral process.
The error is due to an automatic registration program. It is unclear if any of the non-citizens voted in the primaries.
Digital display boards are finally hitting the streets 5 years after Governor Jerry Brown signed legislation authorizing digital license plates to be sold right here in California. Motorists who choose to buy the digital plates can register their vehicles electronically and eliminate the need to physically stick tags on their license plates each year. Think of an iPad like your display bolted on your bumper. They don't come cheap. They estimate to be $699 and users are required to pay a $7 monthly fee.
Hotel Dal's most notable resident may be the special guest of an event at this Coronado hotel this month. On October 12th, medium James Van Prague will host a scenes at the Hotel del Coronado in which he will try to connect with the hotel's permanent guest, Kate Morgan. In 1892, Kate checked in under an assumed name. She was later found dead with a gunshot wound on a staircase leading to the beach. Hotel guests say they have seen Morgan felt breezes come from nowhere and seen televisions turn on and off by themselves.
Mayor Falconer visits TJ this week for an unveiling of a new sculpture. The details coming up.
And there's a lot going on in the world of sports. Find out which Olympic swimmer is having some legal issues.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
And our very own City College is giving back to the community October 15th through the 19th. The Office of Student Affairs has partnered with Father Joe's Villages, San Diego Central Library, the Salvation Army, Balboa Park, and Chicano Park. You can give back by volunteering your services to reach out to the homeless or help with gardening. Sign up at sdcity.edu/signup week of service.
Our local community college district released its annual security report this week. Required by the federal government, the report details crime and arrest information for the district's campuses. City College has the most drug arrests in the district at 33 for 2017, up from just 12 in 2016. Last year also saw 5 instances of domestic violence or stalking on campus. The report reminds students to reduce their risk of attack by avoiding isolated areas, walking with a friend, and not using headphones in both ears so that you can be aware of your surroundings.
And last week's episode was different than anything we have done here at Newscene. Our studio flooded, taking us to make the decision of either canceling the show completely or bringing you what we could. We decided to move forward and put on a show.
Welcome to this Newscene update. I'm Patrick Riggert.
And I'm Alexandra Ringel.
We're coming to you today from our newsroom.
This morning, we found our studio and control room flooded from rain.
It was still very important to us to deliver the news to our viewers, so we're making the best of what we have.
Sports, entertainment, and weather segments continued with their original plans. The flooding has since been dried up, and our equipment was preserved.
A new tourist landmark unveiled at the border. 2 mayors attended the ceremony to show border unity. Yakira Delgadillo has more.
This past Wednesday, an unveiling took place of a new landmark structure next to the Ped-West border entry El Chaparral. Mayor of San Diego, Kevin Faulconer, was presented in efforts to promote the binational relationship between San Diego and Tijuana.
When the city of Tijuana makes an investment in the tourism economy, it's an investment in San Diego's tourism economy. Tijuana's growth and prosperity helps San Diego to grow and to prosper.
Mayor of Tijuana, Juan Manuel Castellum, also had some words to say in regards to what this landmark means.
Porque inauguramos estas letras, podrán pensar ustedes, México, Tijuana, ¿qué? Pero esto es nuestro. Esto es Tijuana.
After the ceremony, both mayors unveiled a sculpture and took photographs with other members of the ceremony. Mayor Faulconer also had this to say in regards to the border wall and the new NAFTA agreement.
What we work on right here is building bridges, and that is something I'm very proud of. We're standing right here in one of the new pedestrian bridges that we built just last year, the other one on the other side. As we work together as 2 countries, as 2 cities, free trade works. We are a great example of a region that knows how to compete. I will take the strength of San Diego and Tijuana and the good quality companies that we have, and we're growing. That is a message that we are taking to Washington, D.C.
In a time of political uncertainty, this sculpture represents a collaboration of 2 border cities uniting as one. Reporting for Newscene, this is Yakira Delgadillo.
Mayor Faulconer has said he hopes to see the hashtag Tijuana sculpture trending soon.
For an update on the MLB postseason and more, here's Juan Gomez with sports.
Thank you, guys. But first, let's get started with Thursday Night Football. It was an NFC East matchup between the 1-4 Giants receiving the 2-3 Eagles. Both teams in desperate need for the dub. Giants would start the first up, but at the first minute of the game, Eli Manning pass gets deflected and intercepted by Gregor Hill. Then on the next drive, Carson Wentz gets out of the pocket, looks at the end zone, and he finds his big-handed wide receiver, Alshon Jeffrey. I'm sure Eagles fans missed this duel. The Giants get back on the field, and the talented rookie Saquon Barkley will break loose for a 46-yard gain and put the Giants in field goal range and make the first points of the game. Later on the second quarter, Eagles up by 8. Wentz fakes a run and finds the hand-trustful Zach Ertz. Sorry, we have some technical difficulties and we're kind of behind. And we're repeating right now the play when Wentz passes it to Alshon Jeffrey. And then afterwards, we're going to see the pass to Barkley. But then let's move on. The Giants and the Eagles, win versus the Giants 34-13. Now let's move on. For Sunday, we have the games Pittsburgh against Cincinnati. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Then we kind of have at 1:25 the Tennessee against Baltimore. And for Sunday Night Football, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs against the New England Patriots. That's a great matchup to watch. And now moving on to the MLB playoffs, the league championship are around the corner, and we have the best highlights. With the Red Sox-Yankees series coming to an end on Tuesday, we look forward to the league championship series that are going to start tonight, as the Los Angeles Dodgers will host the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 1 of the NLCS. Boston will host the Houston Astros tomorrow for Game 1. The winner will advance to the World Series and will be the second in a row for Astros and the first for Boston since 2013. And now moving on to the Olympics, and 12 times Olympian winner Ryan Lochte is receiving treatment for his alcohol abuse issues. Yet, according to his lawyer, Lochte is now seeking treatment for a facility. The Olympian is currently serving a 14-month ban for receiving an intravenous injection in May. blocked this in hopes of getting a spot in the national team for the 2020 Tokyo Games. Brian spoke to the media this week, and this is what he had to say about it. Take a look.
Right now, I just wanted to get this out there and know that I'm still training every day.
And guys, that's all for sports. Thank you. I'm Juan Gomez. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Juan. Find out what twist made a painting sell for an astronomical amount of money. More in entertainment.
After the break, we'll continue to take you on the journey of our classmate Sadie Goodman, who is battling cancer.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Next.
Earlier this semester, we introduced you to our classmate Sadie Goodman. She's allowing us to share her personal journey as she continues to battle cancer. Sadie is diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy treatment. This week, she tells us how it really feels to go through all of this.
It's really lame. Can't taste my food. My appetite's all jacked up. Nauseous. My energy is gone. I'm always tired. I have to take pills constantly for pain and nausea. The pills make me sick and constipated. I don't have a regular life anymore. I can't just get up and go when I want because I'm laying around and I don't want to do anything. I always want to cry. I want to cry right now.
Our hearts go out to Sadie through this struggle. There's no word yet on how much longer her treatment will take.
Sears, once America's largest retailer, may be filing for bankruptcy. Sears shareholders met on Wednesday to reach a deal, but the meeting ended without an agreement to keep the company afloat. The company owes $135 million by Monday. Although Sears has been in decline for years, it still has over 500 operational stores, including 3 in San Diego County. One of them, the Spring Valley location, closes by the end of the month due to lack of funds.
And it was a miracle in the sky this past Sunday night while SpaceX launched a rocket. The rocket SpaceX is also known as the Falcon 9 and is set to be set up as 117,000 pounds and 53,000 kilograms. This was twice the weight as a usual rocket ship. This rocket ship has 2 stages, giving it a burn time of 397 seconds.
And with your entertainment news, here is Justin Barber.
Thanks, guys. This is entertainment. There's an unfamiliar face on the Billboard Hot 100 and currently #1 on the digital song sales chart. Bradley Cooper has made his Hot 100 debut at number 28 with the song Shallow from his latest movie, A Star is Born. Shallow is the focus song for the movie and is a duet between Bradley and Lady Gaga. The song has also made it to the #1 spot in the digital song sales charts with 58,000 downloads and 8.3 million streams and counting. While this may be Cooper's first Hot 100 entry, this will be Gaga's 21st top 40 hit. You can see the movie A Star is Born in theaters now. If you find yourself in New Mexico, don't take a left at Albuquerque, because then you'll miss Netflix's latest project. Netflix has announced that it will be acquiring ABQ Studios in Albuquerque. This is the streaming service's first studio purchase. They've also been accelerating towards creating more original content and plan on making a studio a central hub for those shows. Netflix is saying that this deal will bring 1,000 jobs per year and generate $1 billion in production to New Mexico within the next 10 years. If you haven't noticed, Netflix has been expanding rapidly over these past few years with 130 million customers worldwide and has dropped a hefty $8 billion on original productions this year alone. I can only imagine what they have in store for us, so keep an eye out for all those latest Netflix series coming soon. Next up, 7 weeks after Aretha Franklin's death, she was honored at the 2018 AMAs with a performance perfect for the Queen of Soul. Aretha's lifelong friend, Gladys Knight, led a stunning and distinguished gospel tribute starring Ledisi, Mary Mary, Donnie McClurkin, CeCe Winans, and Ricky Minor. The performance followed a video of Aretha Franklin's history with the AMAs and her career. The audience was noticeably touched by the tribute and stood up to honor the late Aretha Franklin. She last performed at the AMAs in 1986 and won 6 AMAs throughout her career. Lastly, Banksy strikes again with another one of his jaw-dropping stunts at Sotheby's auction house in London. The contemporary artist Banksy is incredibly well known for his artwork, but also for the politically dissident messages behind much of his artwork. Late last Friday night, his signature work, Girl with Balloon, a 2006 spray paint on canvas, sold for $1.4 million, setting a new high for the auction house. Immediately after the gavel is dropped at $1.4 million, the artwork appears to destroy itself via a shredder that was secretly installed into the frame of the painting by Banksy himself. Banksy commented, "A few years ago I secretly built a shredder into a painting in case it was ever put up for auction." Sotheby's auction house and the unidentified buyer are talking about what to do next, but it seems the stunt only raised the value of Girl with Balloon. That's it with entertainment. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Justin. So will it be raining this weekend?
Your weekend forecast when we come back.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
And with your weekly weather update, here's Kenyatta Rigmaiden.
Thanks, Patrick. Now, the weather in San Diego, thankfully, is pretty nice today. We're seeing a little bit of cloud cover come in today. That's because there's actually a hurricane, or the remnants of a hurricane, Sergio, that's moving down south of us in that the part of Mexico, and a low-pressure system that's on the coast of us. And it's coming in, and it's actually bringing in some of that precip. So tonight and tomorrow, we should see a little bit of rain. We'll look at that stuff later, though. For now, we have great temperatures, 68 degrees in Oceanside, low 70s, high 60s on the coast, 70 degrees in Chula Vista. If we look on the interior part, 79 degrees in Fallbrook, pretty warm, 73 degrees and down to 70 in Hamul. Let's look at the mountains. They're a little bit cooler, and that's typical for mountains, isn't it? 49 degrees in Mount Laguna. Desert is 81 degrees. This time of year, it's starting to cool down at nighttime. I bet you've all noticed that. Let's go ahead and look at the 8-day forecast. I'll tell you a little bit more about why we're going to have that precip. Let me move out of this frame. So today, we're having partly cloudy skies due to that hurricane, a lot of the moisture that's associated with that. And as we move into tonight and tomorrow, we're going to see some rain. We're going to see some showers, and there's mostly going to be showers that are going to be associated with the mountains, maybe even have a little bit of thunderstorm activity out in the mountain area, but around here we might have a few showers scattered throughout. And Sunday, the area of precipitation is going to clear out. A lot of the clouds are going to start to give way to clear skies. We're going to have clear skies Monday through Friday, and then the temps are going to drop up from Monday through Friday. So we're going to see 80s and upper 70s throughout the remainder of the week. Now, we're blessed to have this great weather out here in San Diego. The rest of the country isn't so lucky. If we look at this weather map, we can see that in the northeast, Boston, New York, they have temperatures of 60s, and they're actually getting remnants of that tropical storm that passed through. That was the hurricane. It quickly downgraded to a tropical storm, and we have some warmer temps as we move down south. 89 degrees in Miami. The southeast is still reeling from all that devastation, but at least they have nice temperatures. 72 in Jackson. Let's look at the Midwest. We have some cooler temps. 44 degrees in Nebraska, 53 degrees in Kansas, Oklahoma, 57 degrees. If we look at this map, we can see that it looks like there's a smiley face. The temps actually are a little bit cooler above it, and below it, they're starting to get a little bit warmer. That's actually the jet stream. It's pushing all of this weather and steering it. So we're going to have high winds around this jet stream area. As we look towards the west, let's look over here on this side. That's easier. 70 degrees in Phoenix. It's a little bit cooler than it is out here. San Diego, 72 degrees, and we're getting up to 56 degrees in Portland, 58 in Seattle. It's chilly, typical for this time of year for that area. So that pretty much wraps it up for the weather. My name's Kenyatta, and I'm passing it back to the desk. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenyatta. And finally tonight, birds are getting drunk and causing concern in a small town in Minnesota.
The birds in Gilbert, Minnesota have been behaving strangely and causing disturbances all over town.
Residents have spotted them flying into cars, crashing into windows of their homes, and acting disoriented.
It turns out that the birds' bizarre behavior is due to drunkenness. And no, they haven't been guzzling cocktails.
Birds that eat berries, such as robins, have been feasting on fruit that fermented prematurely due to an early frost in the area.
And we'd like to thank you for watching this evening's edition of Newscene. I'm Alexandra Ringel.
And I'm Patrick Rickard. Thank you and good night.